Hi everyone, it is Thursday the 18th of March. Hope you're all keeping well. So today we're going to look at the relationship between millimetres and centimetres. That's just continuing on with the work that we've looked at this week of looking at the relationship between centimetres and metres, metres and kilometres. So the things that I want you to be able to do as part of this lesson are to be able to record measurements using decimal notation, which you have experience of earlier on the week, converting lengths using different units of measurement, and comparing in order lengths in millimetres, centimetres and metres. So it's going to be like a revision task of some of the work we've completed earlier on this week, and that you have the ability to apply all of the skills that you've learned this week. Okay, so that target is linked to the little revision task that we have in the lesson. Okay, so we've got some questions just to get your brains warmed up and before we begin our main task for today. So if you want to pause the video now before I go through the answers. Okay, so the first question is 3/4 of 24. So 1/4 of 24 is 6. So 3/4 of 24 is 3 6s. So the answer to that is 18. Next one, 11 times 12. So maybe you know that times table off by heart, or maybe you have to use a different strategy, like say use so the 12 11s, maybe you do 12 10s, which is 120, and then I'll add on the 12 ones, which is 12, and total it up, 132. For speed, it is better to know these things off by heart though, okay? But as a backup, it's good to have a strategy. Okay, the next question is 2,936 people visited a library last week. Round this number to the nearest 10. So we have experience of that recently. So it's 2,936. The nearest 10 is 2,940. 4,671 people visited a museum last week. Round this number to the nearest 100. So you're looking at the 61 here. And 61 rounded up to nearest 100. So you go up because it's more than 50. So this becomes 4,800. Okay, which shape has the most vertices, the most corners? And that is your cuboid. Okay, next one. In 2017, the 22nd of June was a Thursday. What day was the 3rd of July? So generally in P3, I would teach my P3 classes the calendar rhyme. So 30 days has September, April, June and November. So you know June has 30 days. So if you think about this, Thursday the 22nd, the 29th is also a Thursday, which means the 30th is a Friday. First is a Saturday, second is a Sunday, and the third then is a Monday. Okay, so now we're going to look at writing lengths in other ways, and just to begin, very simple fact, 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. Okay, so and you'll know from using a ruler that a centimeter is a small unit of measurement and a millimeter is very, very small. Okay, so it says 2 centimeters, 6 millimeters, and total millimeters it's 26, and decimal notation 2.6 centimeters. So this is very, very similar to what we've been doing earlier this week. Okay, so 4 centimeters, 4 millimeters would be 44 millimeters in total, because there's 10 millimeters in each centimeter, so 4 tens are 40, add on the 4, and 4.4 centimeters. And just remember that in decimal notation it's in centimeters, okay, because we're converting the millimeters into centimeters. So no centimeters, 8 millimeters is just 8 millimeters, and then in centimeters it's 0.8, because 8 millimeters is 8 tenths of a centimeter, and this 0.8 means 8 tenths. 10 centimeters, 5 millimeters is 105 millimeters, and in decimal notation that's 10.5 centimeters. Okay, so this chart shows some measurements in millimeters, and we have to convert them into centimeters, or vice versa. Okay, so the first one is completed for us. 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. Okay, so that's a fact that we need to know. It's a very easy fact, and we need to know it and be able to complete the rest of the questions. Okay, to understand the relationship between millimeters and centimeters. So second question then is 5 centimeters. So if we know that there are 10 millimeters and 1 centimeter, I mean 20 millimeters and 2 centimeters, and 30 and 3 centimeters, so on. So the answer to this one would be 50 millimeters, okay? Because for each centimeter, there are 10 millimeters. Okay, so there's 5 centimeters, 5 tenths. Okay, I would like you to pause the video because I would like you to complete the rest of the examples now on your own. Okay, so 2.2 centimeters. So that 2 here represents 20 millimeters, and this 2 represents 2 millimeters. So in total, 22 millimeters. Okay, so we're starting off with 25 millimeters. What is it in centimeters? Well, it's 2 full centimeters and 5 tenths of a centimeter. So it's 2.5. 7.5 over here. An easy strategy is just to remove the decimal point, and instead of having it in centimeters, then your answer is in millimeters. So it's just 75. Okay, 70 millimeters is 7 centimeters. Okay, 0.67 centimeters. So it is. Okay, so this is actually a tricky one. So because it's less, it's 0.67 centimeters, you know it's less than a centimeter. So therefore it's less than 10 millimeters when you're converting it. So it is 6.7 millimeters. Okay, so that was quite a tricky one. Okay, very, very similar task here. Converting between millimeters and centimeters. Okay, so you've got 4 millimeters is 0.4 centimeters, because this 4 millimeters is 4 tenths of a centimeter. So if we look at the next one, it says 0.7 centimeters. So what would that be in millimeters? That's 7 millimeters. Okay, and the example below it then, so many millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So if we remember that fact from earlier on, 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. Okay, and move on to the next one. 40 millimeters, what is that in centimeters? So 40 millimeters, that's 4 centimeters. Okay, because for every 10 millimeters, it's 1 centimeter. 75 millimeters is 7.5 centimeters. Okay, so now at this point, I would like you to pause the video because I'd like you to do the rest of the examples in your jotters. Okay, good luck. So 90 millimeters is 9 centimeters. 100 millimeters is 10 centimeters. 0.75 centimeters. So this is quite a tricky one. So again, it's less than 10 millimeters. So your answer is 7.5 millimeters. It's not 75, because if it was 75 millimeters, this here answer over here would be 7.5 centimeters. Okay, 275 millimeters. So okay, all you need to do, because when you're converting this into centimeters, you're dividing it by 10. So you'll just, and we worked on this a few weeks ago, move your decimal point in here, so that becomes 27.5 centimeters. Now this is a revision of the concepts that we've been looking at this week. So we've been looking at converting centimeters into meters and so on, meters into kilometers, and now today millimeters into centimeters. Okay, so this is a revision of all 3 of those tasks, and in order to answer the questions, you're going to be using these signs. Okay, so the greater than sign, less than sign, or equal sign if both amounts are exactly the same. Okay, so the first example has been completed for you. It says 1,200 meters is greater than 1 kilometer. Okay, and that's correct because 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So 1,200 is bigger than 1,000. So if we look at the next one, number 2, 620 centimeters, is that bigger or less than 7 meters? Now, 7 meters is 700 centimeters. So 620 centimeters is less than 7 meters. Okay, if we move on to number 3, so 8 meters. 8 meters is 800 centimeters. So, and you've got 750, so 800 is greater than 750 centimeters. Next one then, number 4, 82 millimeters. So 82 millimeters, so if you need to, you convert these centimeters into millimeters, so that 7 centimeters becomes 70 millimeters. And is 82 greater than 7 centimetres? Yes, it is, okay. Okay, so now I would like you to pause the video because I would like you to complete the remaining examples on your own in your jotters. Okay, good luck. So 45 millimetres, so the 5 centimetres represents 50, so 45 is less than 50. 1300 centimetres, is it less than or equal to 13 metres, okay? So this is quite a tricky one, you really need to think about it. So there's 100 centimetres in a metre, so 13 metres, if you multiply that by 100, so if you multiply 13 by 100, you multiply it by 10, you add on a 0, multiply it by 100, you add on 2 zeros. So these two are the same, okay? 900 metres and 9 kilometres. Well, 9 kilometres is 9,000 metres. So 900 metres is much less than 9 kilometres. Okay, 3.5 kilometres. So 3.5 kilometres is 3,500 metres, and that is greater than 3,080 metres. 12 centimetres then. So 1 centimetre is 10 mils. So multiply that by 10, becomes 120, and those two are the same. Okay, 425 centimetres and 4.25 metres. So 4 metres is 400 centimetres. A quarter of a metre is 25 centimetres. So these two measurements are exactly the same.